Welcome, fellow anglers, to the Good Karma Sport Fishing Podcast. I am Captain Ryan Van Fleet, your host here in the Florida Keys. Each week I bring you fishing tips, gear reviews, stories, and more to help you maximize your fishing trip, catch big fish, and overall have fun. Special shout out to Dan and Elizabeth. They're the Florida fishing couple on YouTube. You can check out their channel. It's extremely authentic. I really enjoy watching it, and I recommend it to you guys to check out. They tell it like it is, and they just do a great job with the editing and the flow. Now, Dan and Elizabeth fished with me a couple weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago Sunday. Not this Sunday, but the prior Sunday. We had a full moon. The conditions were really tough. The seas were kicked up. We had a lot of rain. It was just an extremely challenging day. I tried several different things. Let's just put it like this. It was challenging. And I don't like to quit, even on those challenging days, because I always want my clients to catch some fish to take home for dinner. So I did, at the end of the day, manage to get some yellowtail snapper going. I showed them some old school tricks that work very well that will get the snapper to eat even on those really challenging days. And we did manage to put a few in the box before we headed home for the day. We also caught a few blackfin tuna. Not as many as I would like to have, but that's just me. I'm always want more and more from my clients. They did a little video that day, and it's available on their YouTube channel if you guys want to check out the Good Karma, and you can see some rigging and stuff on there. And Dan did a really good job on showing some of the tackle and some of the techniques that we're using, including we used the ballyhoop, so you can see that little video, see that little snippet in there as well. So it's very rare that you guys get to see me on camera. So I've had a couple of requests for YouTube channels, but I'm just not ready to go there yet. So just got a lot going on, and I mean a lot going on. So again, thanks, Dan and Elizabeth. I really enjoyed having you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the fish, and we're going to definitely do it again here soon. Which leads me into today's podcast. I want to talk about slow days. Now, slow days, they do happen. And I don't like slow days because they come few and far between for me. I'm always prepared to adapt to certain situations to catch fish. But there's just some days when Mother Nature is just going to keep challenging you and challenging you and challenging you. And whether that be acres and acres of sargassum weed, where you're not able to get a bait to a fish, or you're dealing with a super bright full moon where the fish ate all damn night, and you have them up behind your boat and they won't eat anything, no matter what. So things happen. Not a lot of guys like to talk about it because everybody wants to be a hero out there. But listen, you're not fishing enough if you're not getting your ass kicked out there once in a while. And to be honest with you, I learned a little bit when I get my ass kicked, and it was kind of good. I got my ass kicked that day, because I'll tell you what happened the following day. Because if you're not making adjustments to catch fish when it's tough, then you shouldn't be in this job. So, anyways, but I'll talk about that a little later. Years ago, Melinda and I booked a charter with one of the best sport fishing guides in South Florida. Now, this guy is one of the true pioneers in daytime sport fishing. And I learned a lot that day and was very grateful that Melinda and I could take the time to be out on the water together, which hardly ever happens because we're both so busy with our jobs. And guys, it wasn't cheap. I didn't get a discount or anything. So it was like, oh, yeah. But anyways, the bummer news was it was a struggle for the captain that day. We fished 12 hours. And we had 0 bites, not even a shark bite or a trash fish bite. I think we went up and down the whole coast of Florida a couple times and back. Now, the captain asked if we wanted to change it up, but since I already catch pretty much everything, but swordfish, we decided to stay the course. It was tough, and I think this experience helped me realize that what it's like to come home empty-handed. And we came home empty-handed, no fish. And why I try so hard to catch something for my clients. So my sage advice to anyone booking a charter with me or with anyone else is to kindly ask the guide before booking a charter what else you can target if the fish you desire is not biting. If the fishing has been slow for the species that you that you desire, for example, dolphin fishing, it's been rather slow. So when somebody calls me, I'm going to tell them, hey, there's not a lot of dolphin around. I'm not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. I want to catch them just as bad as you, so I highly suggest that we come up with a backup plan and spend a little time targeting the dolphin, but not the whole day, because it's awfully tough to catch up at the end of the day, meaning that you still have to have time to adjust to catch certain species. For example, yellowtail. You have to have time to put the chum in the water. You got to have time to get the hook set properly. The fish still have to come up to the bag. And you can't count on those fish to bite the way that you want them to. So you have to adapt several different times to get fish to eat sometimes. It's not easy. And being a charter boat captain, I just can't throw my arms up in the air and say, oh, well, they're not biting. It's time to go home. And, some guides do. I'm not like that. I want you guys to catch fish. So I don't make up excuses. If I've got to go through a regiment of things in my brain before I can say, like Flip Pallet's old saying goes, I'm all out of tricks. And when I say when I'm all out of tricks, I'm all out of them. That means it's time to go home, and hopefully that all the tricks that I went through have put fish in a box for you. But in other words, it helps the captain to know you're flexible and you can let him do his job and catch some fish. Don't be set on one fish species if it's not happening. There's just some days it's just the fish there's no migrations happening. The current sucks. You just can't get to the fish because of the weather. So you have to be flexible. Now, I swear on this, the folks that have the best days are the ones that let me do my job. Also, I would like to consider myself magical. As I've pulled many a big fish out at the buzzer, several wahoo at the buzzer, some big dolphin, big groupers. I've just pulled a lot of them out, guys, and that's the truth. And those of you who have fished with me, you know that I pulled them out for you. But even Michael Jordan or LeBron James in their prime missed many buzzer beaters and could not pull it off on those rare days, or they had an off day. And then the next day they came back and they crush it. It's just how it works with professional athletes, and fishing is no exception. It's the same, guys. Fishing is a professional sport. Guides are professional athletes. They got to be able to adapt because you're getting paid to take people fishing. It's not a leisure cruise. The guide is getting paid to put you on fish, not to throw his hands up in the air and say, "Oh well, we can't catch any." So you have to go through a good guide. Is going to be highly competitive. He's going to be highly driven to catch his client's fish. He should fish. I fish every charter like it's a fishing tournament. Like I'm out to win $1 million, and that's the truth. And the people that fish with me, they get it. That's why they come back. Also, what I've learned, it's never best to take it down to the wire on any sport. It's never best, guys. If you're tied up, you don't want to go down to the wire tied up. So, and fishing is no exception. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that I would talk about what I did after that Sunday on the full moon. It was still lousy conditions the next day as far as what I was looking at. So like any professional athlete, man, you hear those stories of those guys going back and doing nothing but, they don't sleep. Well, that's the truth with me too, guys. I don't sleep after having a slow day, and so I had to put together a plan for catching fish the next day because I knew it was going to be extremely challenging. So I changed things up 100%. So I stayed up all night and I put together a plan. Even when I tried to sleep, I couldn't sleep, so I was up. So I got out of there early in the morning. My client was super cool. I had him for 2 days. I stuck with the plan. I was at the right locations at the right time to target different fish species, and we ended up crushing it for 2 days straight. And I did not deviate from the plan that I put together. So Monday it worked, and then I stuck with the plan again on Tuesday. And Tuesday we actually ended up doing a little better, so that was nice. And then we had 2 exceptionally great days of fishing. We caught some beautiful mutton snappers. We caught yellowtails that were up to 25 inches and a bunch of them. We caught some beautiful yellow eye snappers, some beautiful vermilion snappers. We were throwing fish back for good karma. It was just we caught all sorts of stuff that day, and we just kept the action going. I kept the action going for 2 days with some strategy. So, anyways, I'm gonna in another podcast, I'll sit down and what I'll do is when I'll sit down and I will talk to you guys about how to analyze and all that good stuff. But that kind of stuff I can't really teach because I just do it. It's hard for me to explain what I do. So I'll try to give you guys little nuggets over time as I come up with ways to explain things. So I guess it's hard for me to explain, but anyhow, you'll just have to stay tuned. Okay, so let's talk about the insider fishing for Good Karma's insider fishing that I started last week. So, like I said, I had some really good luck last week fishing the wrecks. What I did was I really focused on using some fresh dead ballyhoo rather than live bait. That seemed to keep the trash bonito away, and I was able to focus in on the mutton snappers more. So it eliminated all those bonitos and all the kingfish bite-offs, and we did well. I hooped up a bunch of fresh ballyhoo each morning, and I cut those up, man, and we used dead, fresh ballyhoo to catch some beautiful mutton snappers and yellow eye snappers. So that was, that's a little insider tip for you guys. Sometimes dead is actually better than live, and in this time of year, I really like to use fresh dead bait. The fish seem to just go nuts for it. Now, you're going to get a lot more bites with live bait, but you're going to have those bonitos, which are going to harass the hell out of you this time of year. Also, I think it was on the Tuesday before Memorial Day weekend, later in the afternoon, the weed is everywhere, guys. It's just horrible this year. It's the worst I've ever seen it, and it's stinky in the morning. The stuff's washing ashore. It's nasty. When we can smell it from our place, I know it's nasty. But anyways, what I did see late in the afternoon, I did see some nicer schooly sized fish behind the boat. They wouldn't eat. I had some, I did have a few liveys that I even tossed at them. They just turned their nose at them. But I did see some frigate birds around, and these fish were anywhere, they were anywhere between 175 out to about 240 feet. I was seeing them. They were coming in, coming out, lots of schoolies, and then it seemed to be later in the day when this was happening. So there are some dolphin around, guys. It's just a matter of, being there at the right place and right time and actually being able to get a bait to them, because it's a pain in the ass right now trolling through all that weed. And, and even I'm really good at it, and I've got some tricks that I use, but it is horrible out there right now. Also, the guys are still, I've seen some reports of the guys catching the tarpon on Channel 5 and Channel 2, downtown Islamorada. So that's a good bet for you guys. And like I said in my last podcast, Well Harbor, easy place to go catch a tarpon. Get in there and get your hook set before the charter boats get in there. I heard reports today that the yellowtail fishing was a little spotty, which it usually gets to be this time of year. So we're going to get ready. There should be some nice mangrove snappers showing up on the reef here any day. And when that happens, I'll let you guys know. But I haven't had a chance to get out there and fish this week because I have the boat. We're doing our yearly fiberglass repairs, scratch and dents and all this stuff. It was the only time that I could get my fiberglass guy, who's one of the best in he's one of the best in the Keys. As far as the dolphin fishing goes, I don't know what to say. I know I did mention I did see some, but the reports I got, you would think that the dolphin are all over the place out there, but the reports I heard today was one boat crushed them and the rest of the boats got skunked. And I heard guys are, getting the old electric reels ready, and because I don't know, man. Right now, they're just not seeing a lot of fish, and the reports I'm seeing is that the fish are traveling on they're traveling the Bahamian route, which they tend to do on an El Nino year for some reason. So, but last year, We had the same conditions. The fish didn't really show up until the end of June. But next week I'm going to go out and give it a try. So I'll just watch my Instagram for reports on that. And I'll let you guys know if the yellowtail spark up, because I'm going to be doing some yellowtail fishing. And, of course, I'll probably look for some muttons and some red groupers. We did rock up a couple black groupers last week. So prior to the full moon, we didn't manage to get any to the surface. We were using the chum balls with the Speedo heads, which is my favorite bait. That's really all I got for you guys this week. Like I said, I'm out of the water this week, and I'll be back at it on Monday. Thanks for tuning in this week. I really appreciate it. I have a new fishing report up at www.goodkarmasportfishing.com, and you can follow me on Instagram at goodkarmasportfishing_FL_keys for daily catch reports and the projects that I'm currently working on. Again, thanks for listening. Tight lines, and remember, anytime you're fishing, it's all good.